Not every top 10 draft pick will work out. It's just a fact that teams have to deal with when selecting players. They can do every bit of scouting and projecting possible, but there will always be people who just don't pan out. Sometimes it takes a change in scenery to kickstart things. There can be several factors in why a player doesn't work out with his original team. Not in the right system, not getting the right ice time in the right situations, the list goes on. For Derrick Pouliot, there could have been several factors why he never panned out for the Pittsburgh Penguins, despite being a top 10 draft pick. The main reason being he just wasn't that good in the brief time he was there. Formerly the 8th overall pick of a draft that also netted the Penguins Olli Maatta and Matt Murray, Pouliot could never get things going in Pittsburgh. Not being able to send him back to the minors without passing him through waivers, and not wanting to lose him for nothing, the Penguins traded him to the Vancouver Canucks for Andre Pedin and a 4th-round pick next year. Not much for a player with the pedigree that Pouliot possessed, but his stints in Pittsburgh did little to help him keep his value over the years. A tough time getting going. Pouliot was one of the top puck-moving defensemen in the Western Hockey League (WHL) during his draft year. The Penguins, who had been putting a heavy emphasis on the position with high draft picks, snatched him up with the pick they received in the Jordan Staal trade. One thing that usually is the question with young puck-moving defenders is their play in their own zone. It is why sometimes defensemen take years to fully establish themselves in the NHL, as they need time to learn to play sound defensive hockey. Pouliot was no different, as the offensive talent was there. He scored a goal in his first NHL game, but his play in the defensive zone was so shaky, Pittsburgh couldn't risk giving him too many minutes. That's not an easy shot to make. There was also talk about Pouliot not putting in the effort it takes to stay in shape so he can stick around in the NHL. Either way, with the Penguins in the midst of back-to-back championships, Pouliot was not a player they could afford to keep on their roster. By the end of his tenure with the Penguins organization, Pouliot played an underwhelming 67 games, registering 14 points, and was A11, a new start in a familiar area just a short 6-hour ride north of where Pouliot once dominated junior hockey. He was given an opportunity he had never quite gotten in Pittsburgh. Vancouver was never expected to make any headway this season, going through a rebuild of sorts. With just a year left on the Sedin Twins' contract, it was expected this year was to be a transition season to prepare the next wave of young talent to take over as the faces of the organization. It has gone far better than expected, as 3 weeks into the season they sit 4th in their division. It may not seem high, but after 12 games played they have a better record than the Anaheim Ducks, Calgary Flames, and Edmonton Oilers, all teams expected to finish better than them in the standings. Goaltending has been a big part of the turnaround, as have the play of some of the younger players like Brock Besser and Sven Baertschi. Although Pouliot may fall somewhere further down the list of contributors, for a team that allowed the 6th most goals last season, any positive impact is welcome, especially on the blue line. Using Pouliot's skill set, Pouliot will always be looked at for his offensive production. Currently on the season he has recorded 3 assists, 2 in his last 5 games played. Knowing its limitations defensively, Vancouver has done a good job putting him in the right situations. In his 9 games played he has started nearly 60% of his shifts in the offensive zone, according to NHL.com. They try to limit him to offensively geared shifts, which is why he only averages 12.43 of even-strength ice time per game, which is 8th among defensemen who have played at least 1 game for the Canucks. He is getting plenty of work on the power play, however, where he has registered 1 of his assists. Pouliot sits 3rd among Canucks defensemen in power play time per game, with a 303 mark. While Vancouver's power play is in the bottom 3rd of the league, they have been efficient when Pouliot is on the ice. When Pouliot is on the ice, the Canucks register a 6.55 goals for per 60 minutes GF60 with a man advantage, the best among the team's blue liners. They also have a 11.54 on ice shooting percentage with Pouliot out on the power play, second only to Michael Del Zotto. The inevitable comparisons, though, for the Penguins, who have had a less than ideal start to this season, especially defensively, could having Pouliot helped. Better yet, how does he stack up against the Penguins' blue line this season? Players 6OSA 6OGA 6OSV%, IGVA 60 Chris Letang 0.2432.614.7685.42%, 4.08 Olli Maatta 1.3832.153.4589.26%, 2.39 Chad Ruhwedel 1.533 1.292.0493.48%, 0.68 Justin Schultz 0.2735.663 3.539 0.11%, 1.57 Ian Cole 1.0327.89 3.0689 0.04%, 1.53 Brian Dumoulin 0.3432.22 3.3789 9.55%, 0.96 Matt Hunwick 0.124 0.35 2.749 3.22%, 0.68 Derrick Pouliot 2.0325.111 1.609 3.62%, 2.67 All stats from Corsica. Hockey, based on 5v5 play. It should be noted that Pouliot is getting favorable zone starts, which generally help in shot suppression. What that won't impact is his giveaways per 60 minutes IGVA 60 and his game score per 60 GS 60. He's giving up a lot of pucks, not a surprise, but at the moment would not be near the worst on the Penguins. His average game score is also better than anyone on Pittsburgh's blue line right now. Pouliot has by far better goals and shot suppression marks, but a lot of that could have to do with the Penguins' overall poor play at even strength this season. In Pittsburgh, things just did not work out for Pouliot. He had been passed over already too much and did little with the opportunities he received. He may never become what you have expected out of a top 10 pick, but lost in all of this is the fact he is still just 23 years old, young for a defenseman. Finally, with a true opportunity to sink or swim, and without the expectations that come with playing for a contender and being a top 10 pick, Pouliot is slowly carving a place out for himself in the NHL. What do you think of Derrick Pouliot's play in Vancouver? Let us know in the comments section below. Want to share your opinion? Why not write for us? Previous post, next post, next.